Ted, tell us with your crystal ball, tomorrow, November 7th, how does it play across throughout the nation, Election Day?
We're talking mainly, one, thank you for having us here. This is a funky space. I love this. You get to drink and look like we're in a movie theater. I would be surprised if Ed Gillespie wins in Virginia. And all the polls say the Democrats will win, but I don't know. If you look at the ads that he's running, number one, Ed Gillespie, who's like a cookie-cutter establishment Republican. If you looked in the dictionary a couple of years ago, it had his big mug sitting there. And now he's running like he's Steve Bannon. If you look at his ads, he's hitting the NFL, he's hitting immigration, he's hitting all of the hotbed issues that you'd hit if you were Bannon. And I think it works. I think in terms of getting especially voters who are still kind of agitated and still feel the same way they did on election day, it could be successful. It'll be close. To me, what's really interesting, if you look at a year into the presidency and you look at the polls, in some ways even more dramatically than on election day, we just live in two Americas. There really is an America that hates Donald Trump. It's the majority. If you look at the polls over the last couple of days, 50% think he's a racist, 50% think he doesn't like women, 50% think he should be impeached. But there's a 40%, and that 40% isn't going anywhere, and they're really fired up, and they've not left him. Like you watch, we spend a lot of time out in the Valley. I mean, people just assume, oh, whatever, like Trump's crazy, he's going to be impeached or he's going to leave office. Like, no, his people haven't gone anywhere. He's never gone below 35% in the polls, probably never going to go above 42 or 43. But the people that liked him on election day, they still like him today. And he's done all the things we said you can't do to test that proposition. They like him, and I don't see him going anywhere.
Now, one of the great things about Trump is that he has these theories of PR that I don't think anyone else on earth would embrace. So, like for years, people have debated, is it true that any publicity is good publicity? Well, I think some of you know from your personal experience that no, that's not the case. But Trump totally lives by that. And when he was in New York, and you guys all saw it up close, when he was working the tabloids over decades, as long as he was taking up ink and space, he thought he was winning. And so you have this fascinating dynamic where if there's a particular controversy that heats up, they'll start another one.
When both you and Jim, during the campaign, you hear this tape leak out when he basically, supposedly, pretends he's a publicist on behalf of himself, calling People magazine up, and you hear the voice, and he's denying it, saying that's not him, and it clearly sounds like his voice. What did you think at the time? Did you think reality was flipped on its head?
You think it's Trump. He really thinks, and it's worked for him. Like to Mike's point, he thinks in cinematic terms. That's the one thing you hear over and over from the people around him. He just thinks about optics, and he also thinks that everybody lives glued to the TV like they did 20 or 30 years ago, but he still thinks it's today because he is often glued to the TV. It's not an exaggeration, the stories that you read about him sometimes spending 3-4 hours a day consuming Fox News, reacting to Fox News, and then shaping Fox News. It's true. And every time someone says you're wrong, stop watching TV, stop tweeting, it can keep saying, like, I'm the president, I won, you said I couldn't win, like, what proof do you have that my method, even if you think it's madness, doesn't work? And in his mind, it does work. So are you surprised when you see that? No, there's been a very clear pattern for 30 years. Like, Donald Trump is Donald Trump. All these stupid stories about, now Trump's going to change. He's not going to change. He's been the same person for 30 years. Today, the techniques that he uses on Twitter are the same techniques he used here in New York with the tabloids 25 years ago. And yes, he's perfected them, and he used television and celebrity to sort of sharpen them, but they're not really any different. The way that he operates today is almost identical to the way he operated in business 15 years ago, and it won't change.